kind of like starting with the view out of my window. I'm in a hotel in Kirby Stephen and spent the night here, and I'm about to start, I think it's day 8 of the walk for Olivia, and I like to be honest about the way I feel. I'm here, my backpack's here, heavy and ready to go. I tried to get my backpack carted today. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. I've got to take it with me. Wake up this morning and I realised, you know, by the time I finish today, I won't even be halfway. Not quite, but almost halfway, but not. And I woke up this morning and I thought, I honestly felt like, I don't know that I want to continue this. I've got pain in my body and I'm tired and I won't even be halfway. And I felt like giving up. I'll be honest with you. I felt like giving up. But I've had breakfast. I'm going to keep going. I've read in a book this morning that it's going to be boggy. I don't like that. They recommend gaiters. It's not Australia, it's England, but it is hot. Let's see how we go. Hopefully I get to the end of the day by about 4 o'clock or something and check into where I'm staying and rest up. It is a B&B, so it won't be too bad. And I've got a video ready to upload, but I've got no Wi-Fi. Well, I've got Wi-Fi, but it's not very good. I couldn't load it up. And so, just being honest, I will be glad when it's over, but I've got another week to go yet, and it's good, but I'm looking forward to seeing my family. And here goes, just being honest with you, the walk for Olivia. Coast to coast, Robin Hood Bay 108 miles, St Bees 82 miles. So 108 miles to go. I better keep moving. The obstacles begin. This section's notorious for bogs, so this might be a mild introduction. Here we go. In the distance can't quite see, it's the 9 standards. They look like tents on a hill. And they're actually rock sort of mounds, and not sure why they were built. Some think maybe they were built to ward off their enemies, to make them think it was an encampment or something like that. But I'll be up there in about 20 minutes time and we'll have a look at them. Could be just fine. Here's the 9 standards. What an amazing position too. Those A little bit mist out there today, but absolutely panoramic view. Okay, I'm walking through bogs this morning, but to be honest, I have to be thankful because I think that they could be worse than they are if it had been raining. So I'm not getting too muddy. Fortunately, I'm just dodging the really boggy parts. And they warn you, they suggest you should wear gaiters and stuff like that. I've got a little pair of gaiters in my backpack. I haven't had to put them on. I'm looking what's coming up, and I'll show you when I get there. I could have spoken too soon. I don't think so. I think I'll be all right. But so this is, I guess we're coming into Yorkshire moorland, and so I'll show you what you have to walk through. And here we are. Got to walk through this sort of stuff, and so the morning's like this. So I just got to watch where I put my feet. That's my morning. This is bogland. Okay, got to keep walking. This is the quaint little town of Keld. This is where I stayed last night, and I thought I'd just get up for a little short walk. A bit misty this morning. Keld, and wonderfully the coast to coast starts right here in a couple of hours time. Okay, just leaving the Eastview B&B, and Stuart and Dorothy really taking care of me there. Thanks so much so, in fact, that they have agreed to transport my backpack to Reeth. Isn't that amazing? Well, they saw me going out of the door, and that's when they stopped me and they said, hey, we'll take your backpack to the next town for you. And I kind of sort of said, oh, you sure? I said, look, I'll give you something for it. He said, no, we'll take it to the next town. And so I spent the last 15 minutes just unpacking and getting my smaller backpack, and they're just, taking it for me. Isn't that amazing? A big shout out to Eastview B&B and Dorothy and Stuart. And man, I tell you what, I'll put some pictures on my phone. I'm on this video for the Eastview B&B in Keld. It is the quintessential dream village to stay in if you want a getaway village, just somewhere in the English countryside. You want somewhere quiet, quaint. It's an absolutely amazing village. It's about 25, I think, or 20 or so people live there, and they all work together, volunteer. They've got a community garden, fruit garden and orchard, and it just works. Have a look at this place. Why wouldn't you want to live or holiday at least in a beautiful place like this? And they all work together, and so there's a lovely little shop there with a beautiful garden. out the front, and people have coffees and teas and what have you there. And look at this. There's a rabbit in front of me here. Oh, it's gone. But look at this. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you want a picture postcard village to escape to? I can highly recommend Keld. And Eastview B&B. Big shout out to Stuart and to Dorothy. Dorothy's a great cook. She doesn't just cook, you know, great English breakfast. She does, and it's as good as they come. And she does Asian food. And I had a beautiful curry last night and great coffee, everything. So this is one of my dream lists. So I want to come back here someday. A little bit precarious, this walk. Oops. Now watch your step here. Just commenting on how there's so much rubble on the inside of these buildings. You know, they must be hundreds of years old. We don't know how the rubble, whether they caved in or whether the surrounding hills caved in on them. But they're built to last, but so we don't know how. And they were really well built. How the rubble kind of got in there, not sure. Quite impressive coming into this area, seeing all this mining stuff, these ruins, particularly on the hill. Can't see it much from here, but significant ruins on the hill there. Confession to make. I finally succumbed to trying out the Kendal mint cake, and you know, it's not bad. I kind of rather like it, and I reckon it's a sugar overload, but I do like my sugar. So I got here's a piece here. Big piece. That's what it looks like. So that's it for the day. Well, the good news is that I have officially passed the halfway point. Woohoo! And tonight I'll be staying in Kiel, and one of the only places I could get. Again, I'm staying in a B&B tonight, and tomorrow I will be setting off for Richmond. And what I plan to do, if I can get my backpack shipped to Richmond tomorrow. I'll see if I can organise that if I can. So what I plan to do is to walk to Richmond and then walk past Richmond 3 or 4 miles and then catch a bus back to Richmond and then have a rest day in Richmond Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday catch a bus back to where I walked previously on Friday, and then it'll make that walk shorter, because that day is that next section of the walk is a long walk. It was supposed to be 22 miles, 23 miles, so I'll cut it down to about 18 miles, and so that's the rationale in that. It's not an original idea. I've heard other people doing it. Just want to do a shout out to Terry and Hannah of the Arkleside Country Guest House here at Reith, and I spent the night here. They were very hospitable and made me feel at home as soon as I arrived with their lovely little daughter here. And it's about 5:30 in the morning. I'm leaving early. Told them that I would be leaving early and on my way to Richmond. I'm actually going past Richmond and then about 4.5 miles. Just to make the following day shorter, and then I'm going to catch a bus back. But they were kind enough to offer to take my backpack to Richmond for me today, my larger backpack, to make my journey a bit lighter today. And so it's very kind of them. And Hannah is attending a gym a few miles away from Richmond, and so she's going the extra few miles for me, and they're dropping it off for me for free, so it's very kind of them today. I really appreciate that. So the weather looks a bit overcast. Looks like it's been a bit of rain here. Hopefully I don't get caught out today. And so I'm on my way on day 8 or 9. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm certainly past the halfway mark now, and my boot's hurting my foot a bit, so I've got to make a bit of adjustment before I get fully on my road at 5:30 in the morning. And this is Reith. Little rabbit in the field out there, trying to get somebody around. Beautiful field. I'm a bit going off track, so I film these guys while I'm doing it, trying to get back on track. Going through a field with no trail, just using my GPS. It's very challenging. If I didn't have this $2.49 GPS app on my phone, I would be totally freaked out right now, because it's just, you know, there's places there are no lines, no marks at all, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd have no idea where to go. So I thank God for this cheap app that I downloaded with a whole bunch of other things, and I didn't even know I had it on my phone. I found it by accident about 5 days ago, and so it's a real blessing. I tell you what, for a dummy like me who has no sense of direction, it's saving my skin right now. I tell you what. Thank you, Mr. Wainwright. Hello. Yeah, thank you, boys. Making way for me. Coming into Mask, and there's a sign there telling me I've got, oh, I'm relieved. It says 6 miles to Richmond. I thought he said 9, and I was starting to just get worried. But there's a sign saying the coast to coast goes a different direction. So that worries me, because okay, Wainwright has a habit of dragging things out, so it's probably going to be longer than 6 miles knowing Wainwright. Okay, here we go. St. Edmund the Martyr. I just like this sign. Look at this. Tired and thirsty. Drinks and snacks available 7 days a week in a peaceful little church at the top of the stairs. Have a quick look. I don't want to stop too long, it's too early. It's only about 5 minutes past 8 in the morning. I'll have a quick peek over the fence. Oh, look at this. Quaint little church. Churchyard is consecrated ground. Please don't let your dogs foul the area. Oh, there's a church up there. Love to stay. Gotta keep going. Look at this lovely garden. Somebody puts in a lot of time and effort here to shape all these trees. Richmond. Gotta keep going because I'm going another 4.5 miles past it. Nice. See these things all over England. Never see them in Australia. This is a very confusing sign to me. Richmond 3, Richmond 3. Very confusing sign to me. I'm wondering if the Irish invented this sign. Very confusing sign to me. I'm going that way. Always a relief to see this sign. You know you're on track. Looking over the suburbs, the outer suburbs of Richmond, it looks like a beautiful place. Love this, it just feels like an old English street. Sounds like one too. Just stopped for a cappuccino and a lovely scone and got to book some accommodation at Shop Gate, I think it is. Reminds me a bit of Durham. Can't wait to come back. A couple hours to go yet though. I tell you something, this has got to be coast to coast heaven right now. Ain't that okay? With your teeth.